Hello, 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 and welcome to Macca in Your Attic, a Paul or Nothing spin-off show where the guest always shows me their junk. Ooh, misses. Yes, we are indeed. We're back, folks. It's been a while, and we're going to sift through the tit and the tat, as we always do, to find the primo Mccartney memorabilia. We're going to see 5 or maybe even more items, judging by the background of this guy we've got with us right here, to see some uniquely fun, strange, sentimental, maybe even rare and expensive items from their own Paul McCartney / Beatle collections, each with their own unique story, hopefully. As always, be sure to hit me up on the Patreon page for loads of bonus episodes and stuff like that. Check out the email at paulmccartneypod@gmail.com. Hit it on Twitter at McCartneypod if you want to say hi, that kind of deal. But yeah, today, everyone, I'm joined by one of those people whose Beatles collecting content always keeps me constant company during any moment where I'm refraining from doing what I probably should be doing, whether it's work or writing podcast notes. Yeah, I'm joined by one of these people whose Instagram has a collection that boggles the mind, inflames the interest, and inspires the bitterest of jealousies. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Bailey from the @BeatBailey Instagram page. Hello, Bailey. What's going on, bro?
Hello, Sam.
Thank you so much for coming on.
No, thanks for letting me on here. It's quite weird. It's like I'm watching my TV, but I'm able to talk to it. I watch all your Macca in the Attic videos and listen to your podcast. So to be able to, come on and actually be on an episode is it's pretty cool.
No, stop it, stop it, stop it. You'll make me blush. The pleasure is all mine. Speaking of mining, I've been going through your Instagram page today. I'm like, well, if his 5 items are half as good as all of this stuff, we're in for a very good episode today. We really are, folks.
It's been pretty tricky trying to find 5 items that, that I can talk about that are interesting and that other people haven't already shown. So I've picked a few, which hopefully will be interesting for people who are watching.
Oh, okay. Items that have already been shown that are quite cool. Have you got the first Fireman album?
I haven't got the first Fireman album, but I do have one which is actually one of my items.
Yes, there we go. Awesome. That first one's a bloody rare one. I want to find that alt art that was only released in America as well that looks like a drug PSA thing. I've got to find that. That's a very rare one. So yeah, obviously it seems that you're not actually in an actual attic today. So this is a classic Beatles room. How long has this been active?
In this, well, as it is now, about just over a year, really. I just before the pandemic, me and my partner moved into our own house, which was really nice, and that was my first chance to get a Beatle room. That was the deal. I was like, we can move in somewhere together, but I've got to have a room for my stuff. So we had that, and that was fine. And I loved having, my collection out everywhere. But due to work and everything and all the stuff what happened during COVID, we had to move out sort of the back end of, when was it? 2020. Yeah, 2020. So I'm now at my grandparents'. So this was my old bedroom. So now I'm back. I've actually got 2 rooms, which is great. So I've got this room, which is, my Beatles room. I spend all my time in here, and then the other room, which has just got a bed in, which is great. So
just a bed and a lamp, and then you pan 180 degrees. Yeah.
But yeah, this sort of softened the blow of having to move back home. Was being able to have this sort of setup. So
no, dude, I know the pain of moving out and having that independence and then coming back to the family home. But with my setup, it's more about having all this Beatles stuff, but having it all in drawers and keeping the parental aesthetic, shall we say, without upsetting it too much. Like a record player is fine, but you're not putting vinyls on the walls in nice frames or anything like that, or posters. But let's wind the clock back. When did you first get into the Beatles? When did you first start collecting memorabilia?
Well, I've always loved the Beatles from sort of as long as I can remember. I grew up at my grandparents' house. So my granddad obviously grew up in the 60s. There was always sort of 60s music, rock and roll music, Beatles music playing. I remember every time we was in the car, it was always a Beatles CD or a Rolling Stone CD. So that's where I sort of, initially knew about the Beatles. But it wasn't really until, this is probably 2017.
Okay.
So it's like 5 years where I really sort of got into the Beatles and started collecting just Beatles stuff. I wasn't really interested in any solo Beatles at that point. It was just Beatles. And then from that, I've mainly sort of, now I'm sort of a Paul McCartney collector, and I'll get a little bit of Beatles if but I've sort of changed quite a bit as it's gone on with my collecting and stuff like that. But my first Paul McCartney release was Egypt Station, which I think is similar to you, isn't it? That was my first one where I bought new, and that was so my first. I didn't actually buy Egypt Station. It was my girlfriend. At the time, I was learning to drive, and she said, and she sort of, to help me pass, she did all these little notes and stuff for me to pass my theory. And if I got these questions right, I'd get a prize. And one of them was Egypt Station, because she knew that I wanted it. So that was my first. So yeah, I got Egypt Station, and that sort of helped me pass my driving test. So
just a little digression. How do you feel that album's done in the years since? Has it? Because for me, for example, it's kind of gone from a 4-star down to probably a 3-star album, I'd say.
Yeah, I still listen to Egypt Station quite often.
Same.
I do like it a lot. But I do get what you mean. I think when it first came out, for me, it was
incredible.
Yeah, definitely. And I do still like it. Yeah, I think it's one of those. I mean, I loved Mccartney 3 when it came out, but I think I probably listen to Egypt Station more than I do Mccartney 3 now. I don't know. It's just one of those things, isn't it? But Egypt Station, I absolutely love it. And I've actually managed to get the suitcase.
Oh no, you've got the suitcase.
I was inspired by Tom Onyardi. Every time I sort of, every time I saw, I was going to say about 2 legs, but that's it's a bit of a rival, isn't it?
We don't talk about them here. We don't talk about them.
Every time I saw his videos and his suitcase on his shelf, I was like, oh.
He puts it there to mock me. He has to.
Yeah. But this one, it's actually, I've had to arrange a courier to pick it up, and it's been an absolute nightmare getting it sorted. But I finally, it's in sight. It's nearly here. I was supposed to pick it up, and that didn't happen. My car broke down on the way, and all this stuff, and they didn't want to send it in the post, and now they've allowed me to get a courier to pick it up. And so hopefully by Wednesday, I shall have it.
I can sense a sort of give my regards to Broad Street plot opening up here, and there's a guy who's got your suitcase and he falls asleep, and we've got
That's it.
We've got the suitcase. Yeah. So you got that second hand then?
Yeah, I did. It was on Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, I look on eBay all the time, and I think there was one on Discogs when I was looking. But I managed to get this one on Facebook for a good price. And then obviously the fact that it was the other end of the UK was a bit of a, because I'm in Lincoln, so I'm sort of Midlands, and then this was in Brighton. Right. So it was like 4.5 hours to get it. And I was like, it's going to be a great road trip. I'm going to go down. I'm going to get my suitcase. I'm going to come home. But yeah, that never happened. So, but now I've got this courier. Hopefully going to pick it up tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh my gosh. The tension.
I know.
Oh.
Here's hoping. And then I've got to work out where I can put it, where it will fit.
you're gonna need a new shelf for it, a whole new shelf, or
I will. Yeah.
take something.
Find a place.
What's it actually made out of, the suitcase? Is it card or cardboard, or is it
I don't know. I think it's like
plastic?
a thick cardy plastic. I don't know. I'll let you know on Wednesday when.
Yeah, because like the actual images don't really give away a particular look. It doesn't look like clamshell or vacuum formed or cheap cardboard.
No.
God, don't get it wet, for God's sake. Oh my God, that would be.
I know. Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking.
Can you remember what the first Beatles memorabilia item you bought was?
Yeah, so it was. I remember the first thing I got was that I actually got this, which
nice.
it isn't an official one. It was a. This is when I first got into the Beatles, and I didn't know all their albums, and it was from this where I listened to like Rubber Soul and Revolver for the first time, and it was like it's crazy. But this was just I thought it was a good deal when I was 17, but it was a knockoff from Wish. So
it's a nice looking knockoff. It looks good.
It looks all right. The CDs were a lot worse. Right. They've since gone in the bin because I just used them to death, and they just sort of lived in the car for a bit. And
right.
But yeah, so I had that, and just every night I'd listen to a different Beatles CD for the first time. All the way through. Obviously, I knew some of the songs, but being able to listen to Revolver and Beatles for Sale and all these albums, which when you hear them all the way through, it was brilliant.
No, it must be. I mean, I was definitely part of an iPod streaming generation when I was first getting into them.
Yeah.
And then straight onto vinyl. I've really had no Beatles CD interaction. Like I've got McCartney 3 reimagined on CD. I think I've got like Chaos and Creation and the Amoeba gig on CD. I'll probably never listen to them.
Yeah.
I mean, the format for me is largely just one to collect. Oh, I've got the Flaming Pie singles, for example. But again, that's just because I want to have Ubu Jubu stuff for a future Ubu Jubu episode, really. Ubu Jubu. Yeah. There's very little resellability, resale value in the CDs and stuff. Like every Paul McCartney section in a HMV is full of it. In secondhand shops, there's a huge section because everyone's just getting rid of this stuff now. And I suppose it is a good time to stock up on those things now, I guess.
Yeah, I've literally the other night, I'm catching up on CD singles.
Mm-hmm.
So I've what I've done in the past is I don't know if you can see behind me, but that box sort of there, that's all Run Devil Run. So I've got pretty much every CD single from Run Devil Run and stuff there, and I sort of go through phases of albums where I'll try and collect everything per album. But I've just been going through and getting the CD singles that I'm missing and any other sort of CDs. But I don't now. I am sort of very much sort of streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to collect the CDs.
I got a new record player for Christmas, and it's actually better quality for me just to Bluetooth my phone to it and just go on Spotify and play the albums that way. The only albums I really play now will be like cold cuts where it's like, oh, this stuff is not available on anything. Maybe like Flaming Pie or something, just because it's a very nice quality. The half speed remasters as well. What about like promotional CDs and stuff? Like I saw something with Fine Line on your page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's that sticker with like information of people at MPL and promoters and stuff.
And all like the phone numbers.
Like I thought when I first glanced, I was like, is that Paul McCartney's phone number just on this CD?
I've got quite a few bits like that, and they just sort of come up, and they're a lot sort of. Well, the ones that I found have been a lot cheaper than you'd expect. Like,
because there's a Chaos single that's only a promotional single, I think, that only exists. Yeah, That's a rare one. Hang on.
Mhm.
Man looks up something. You could carry on. Man looks up something on computer.
Feel like at the side of me, I've got this Trip in the Life Fantastic manufacturer's property, not for sale.
Oh,
But I got that off eBay last week for £4.
£4. That's so
I know,
cool.
stuff like that. Anything with like the sticker like that, I'd get all day long.
Oh, that's
Like,
that sticker's worth more than its weight in gold.
I don't know whether I'll be able to find it, but I was in a record shop last week. Well, no, a bit longer than that, a few weeks ago. And I was looking through. Here it is. And I said to this guy, "Do you have any Paul McCartney?" And all through the racks, he didn't have any, but there was this shelf like under the counter, all these records, not in sleeves. You know, the mop bucket was leaning up against it, and all that sort of stuff.
No.
I'm looking through, and there's like 5 versions of Band on the Run.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking through, take them all out, and the last one I get to was a where is it? Was a factory sample.
Oh, not for sale. Oh my god, that sticker returns. Oh my god, it's gonna be in my dreams tonight. That sticker.
And it's like, and he looked at it, or when he first looked at it, he's like, "Oh, band on the Run." You know, he wasn't going to charge me a lot because I got a few others, and he just charged me like £3 or £4 for them. And then he saw that, he's like, "Oh, it's got that sticker on," and he went on Discogs.
Oh
like,
no!
I'm going to have to charge you a bit more for this one. I was like, "Yeah, I get that." And he charged me £8.
£8.
And but yeah, just stuff like that. It's
people have paid 25, 50 quid for that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah,
it's like stuff like that. I'm prepared to anything sort of interesting with the sticker or misprints.
I need to get no more lonely nights. Yeah. Actually, speaking of Band on the Run, I want an American pressing of that. I need one with Helen Wheels on it.
Yes, I don't think I've got. I think the only American one I've got is the picture disc.
Ooh, Band on the Run picture disc.
Yes.
Oh my god! I never even knew I needed that. That's gorgeous. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's got Helen Wheels on.
Oh, the rear is really nice as well.
It's cool, isn't it? It's quite interesting, that one. It was one that I saw at a record shop, and I was looking through and I was like, "Oh, I don't need that. I'll just get what I've got." And then I got home and I was thinking, I really should have got that Band on the Run. So the next time I was in, thankfully it was still there.
No, I will never forget. I was going to visit my auntie. I saw a Good Night Tonight printed disc and a picture disc, and I was like, "No, I'll leave it." And then I rang them back the next day, already been sold. Yeah. And those kind of things.
It's the worst when that happens.
Oh, and speaking of the Chaos and Creation in the Backyard promotional single is This Never Happened Before.
Okay.
Yeah, just a promo CD single. Yeah. If anyone's got that, hit me up. But yeah. So when did you start your Instagram page and what inspired you to start it? Was it just like, I've got all this stuff, I may as well start getting the likes, becoming an influencer?
I think to be honest, it was actually my girlfriend's idea. I think she said about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. That'll give me something to do. Take pictures and put them on Instagram." And from that, it's just I went through phases where I'd post on it and then not post on it. But sort of since Christmas, I've got into a routine of posting sort of every other day, really. And it's quite funny when you look through it and you go back to the beginning. It's all like Beatles, and then there'll be a little bit Paul McCartney, and then a bit more Beatles, and then Paul McCartney, and then it's all Paul McCartney. And I'm trying my best now to put some Beatles in it so everyone sort of likes the page, but it's quite tricky.
And I'm guessing you had a Beatles room established by this point when you started.
No, that was actually so when I started it was when I just sort of had a shelf in my bedroom with like my Beatles collection at the time, and it was one shelf, and now it's the whole room.
So you say you got a lot of Paul stuff. Do you have smatterings of solo Lennon and George and Ringo?
Yeah, I do have bits, but not a lot. Nowhere near as much as Paul.
You haven't got the $1,000 All Things Must Pass with the gnomes and.
No, I don't. I was a little bit tempted, but no, I don't have it. Really, I think I've only got a few George LPs, a few singles. Same with John, really,
Mm-hmm.
And Ringo. I've probably got less than 10 singles for each other member.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul, it's another story. It's just sort of.
Well, it's the same reason why I started the podcast. I was like looking at solo Lennon and Harrison, and I was like, well, I could do it. Someone can definitely do a really good show about this, but there's just not a lot. But then you look at McCartney, it's like there's 5 versions of Ue Soleil. I guess I can do something with that, you know.
Well, I think that's one of the Paul was always sort of my favourite Beatle, but I think that's sort of
he's the best because he's the best one.
I think that's what drew me to collecting Paul's stuff, was because of how much there was, and I've always been a collector of things. Like when I was a kid, I used to collect Hot Wheels cars, and I'd have loads of Hot Wheels cars. And then when I was a bit older, sort of 12, 13, I collected Elvis stuff, and I collected Elvis records. Yeah, and then sort of my late teens, I was a massive Green Day fan, and collected everything that I could Green Day. And then there was a spell where they didn't bring out any albums, and there was nothing new to be had. And I was sort of, Green Day fan with all this stuff and nothing else to be had, and I was a bit bored of it. And then that's when I started getting into the Beatles around that time. And from then I was like, oh look, that's probably one of the main reasons why I got into the Beatles at that point, or collecting the Beatles, was because there's that much stuff. I'll never be able to collect all of it. It's just going to be an ongoing thing, and I'll never get bored of it.
I wouldn't imagine there was much Green Day stuff to collect. Like, you pick up a copy of Uno Dos Tre with each of their faces on the front, and
that's it. Yeah, there wasn't a lot, and so I had like a couple of shelves in my room, and I was sort of done. Yeah. And then that's where the Beatles stuff started coming in. And before I knew it, I had more Beatles stuff than Green Day stuff. The Green Day stuff was put in boxes under my bed, and that was it. I was away from there, really.
Take care, Dookie. See you on the other side. Yeah. Are they all on vinyl? Their back catalogue?
Yeah, I think there was reissues and whatever. I had quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, like American Idiot has to be on every single format going. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah. One of the very first albums I ever owned. That was.
Was it?
Yeah, I was there. I was there when it came out, son. I was there.
I was. I would have been 6.
Wow, that's probably about 12, maybe. Give Me Novocaine, still one of my favorite songs of all time. Absolutely love.
Yeah, no, that is a good song. But
great intro drum, fun to jam with friends. Because I can't jam Paul with friends because they'll just go, no, we're not playing that. Come on, guys, it's called San Ferry Ann. It's really good. So I'm guessing having an Instagram page is the best excuse ever to stay addicted, I guess, to keep buying more products. It's not wasting money. It's an investment to put on my page,
Well, this is the thing where Discogs is dangerous, because every time I buy something and I add it to my collection, I say, and then my girlfriend says, if you keep spending all this money, we're never going to get a house. Yeah. And I'm like, I know, but my record collection's worth this much money. Yeah, it's definitely addictive. It's
in a fun way, though. There are worse things to be addicted to,
Oh yeah, that's what I tell myself. I could, at least I've got something to show for the money that I spend.
Yes.
I've got stuff to show for it, and it does make me happy.
No, I also play Yu-Gi-Oh! Rather ashamedly, and that's called cardboard crack amongst fans.
Right.
there's an element of the game where you can just buy certain cars to win and do better, and some of them are like 150 up to 500 pounds because they're short printed, and it's like, do I want to buy this, or shall I just get, you know, the color disc version of Chopper and a color disc of Tug of War and Venus and Mars, because I will have more fun with them in the long term. I can have them with them on my own. I don't have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult having two very expensive habits concurrent at the same time.
Yeah, I bet that I wouldn't know what to do with that. I sort of I have to put all my sort of energy into one thing.
It'd be like if you got into RC planes right now or something, you know. It's like,
yeah.
Oh no. So you've mentioned Discogs. That's a territory I've never really delved into. What's the experience like?
Well, I don't buy anything from Discogs. I mainly just use it just to add my collection, and because I'm getting to the stage now where I don't know what pressings I've got of things, or so when I go to record shops, I can just have a look because I'm rubbish at remembering. So I went to this record shop the other day. And it's a great shop. It's absolutely massive. And I was looking through the Paul McCartney section, and there's a 12-inch single of All My Trials.
Ooh.
I'm sure I've got this. And I went onto my Discogs, and there was no signal, so I couldn't check. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure I don't have it. So I left it, got home, looked, and I don't have it. So hopefully next time I go back, it's still going to be there. But
I have 2 copies of All My Trials because the second one I bought was listed as 12-inch, and it came and it was a 7-inch. And I wrote to the user, and they just gave it to me for free. I was like, fair enough. I'll put that in a competition bundle one day, you know.
Yeah.
So are you interested in getting every version of, say, just like an album? Like, I like getting each release of a single, especially if they've got different covers and stuff. But
yeah,
I couldn't see myself having, like, I've seen with some people like Lonnie Pena and stuff on here, and Joe Mayo, where they've just got a shelf of their Tug of Wars. Like, here's my 17 editions of this. I'm like, could 16 fans extra have all those, you know? Where do you stand on having lots of the same?
Yeah, I have started, I like having multiple copies of things.
One to play, one to keep, you know?
No, not just different pressings. And that only really started a few months ago. And it was I was in York, and I was at an antique shop, and I was just looking through, and I was like, this Tug of War looks a bit different. It don't look like a normal copy of Tug of War. And then when I got it out, I realized it was a US Columbia version
with that more saturated cover.
Yeah. So I got that, and then from then on, really, was the slippery slope of, oh, this is a nice release, I'll get this one. Oh, this is an Italian release. Well, I don't have that one. But yeah, so I've started getting different. I've got loads of versions of Wings Greatest, which I didn't plan on getting. But I've got there's an Italian version, Argentinian.
Oh, well, hang on. Are these pressings mostly based on country, not just reprints?
Yeah. So I've got
some Japanese Moby strips to show us. Or?
I don't actually on vinyl. I've got some CDs with the Obi strips, but yeah, no, there was one that say this is that's the Argentinian Wings Greatest.
Grandes éxitos.
That's pretty cool. But there's quite a few different American versions and stuff like that. There's like the Winchester pressings and different things. So that's a bit of a slippery slope. So there's quite a few of them.
What about bootlegs, unofficial stuff?
I actually got the other day my first bootleg.
Okay.
Well, my first Paul bootleg. Don't think I'll be able to find it, but it was I think it was one of the World Tour interview.
Oh, nice
things. But I got that from that same record shop, just because I like the cover. But that was the first sort of Paul bootleg I got, I think.
Oh, I wish eBay would make a distinction between bootlegs of modern contemporary stuff under copyright and copies of Club Sandwich. It's like, guys, just let me have Pizza and Fairy Tales on eBay. Let us sell it. Please stop making it be this shady Beatle Fest hotel room transaction business.
I've heard the story.
Yeah, we're recording this now. I think it's the last day of Beatle Fest today, and I'm looking at all the photos, and I'm like, is that Ethan Alexanian on the Beatles media panel? I should be there. Why am I not there? What is going on? What is going on?
Next year, Sam.
No, he looks very fetching in his Shea Stadium coat, I must say. Speaking of non-vinyl product, I see elements of non-vinyl product around you. Have you started getting into bubblegum and lunch boxes? Is that a Rupert the Bear?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, no, I've got. When I first started, I collected Beatles vinyl, but I love all the memorabilia. So, and I haven't got any Beatles memorabilia in quite a while. I've mainly just sort of focused on Mccartney vinyl and that sort of stuff. But I do have the Beatles lunchbox.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
This was like the first holy grail item that I got.
Where'd you get that?
Sorry?
Where'd you get that?
Oh, this was on Facebook again. Someone was advertising it.
Facebook Marketplace. I've got to start doing this. We're going to become rivals on Facebook Marketplace.
But I got this, and from the same person, I got Beatles talcum powder.
Oh my god!
And it's still got the talcum powder in.
You know, we watch episodes of The Simpsons, and like they'll do jokes how like Krusty puts his name on everything, like Krusty brand laxatives and condoms and stuff. Like, oh my god, there's nothing the Beatles didn't go on.
It's everywhere.
Shampoo. I imagine that's going to be out there. Action figures, dolls,
hair gel,
Beatles hair gel.
Hair gel.
Oh my god, this is amazing. Have you got crockery, anything like that? Anything to eat? Oh, there we go. A Beatles plate. Oh my gosh, you can eat your Savoy truffle off that.
I do have the mug as well.
Oh no, mugs are a very easy entry point to a fandom as well. My Egypt station mug never gets drank from ever.
Oh, is this the one that
please don't? Yeah, please don't repeat this story. It's so embarrassing. Folks, for anyone who hasn't heard this story, basically, I went to the toilet after I bought it, and it was in the bag, and I dropped. I put the bag down very roughly on a tile floor, smashed it. I went back and berated the poor vendor and made them give me a new one. I'm so sorry, Paul. I'm so sorry. I've cheated him out of another £12 there. I remember seeing the T-shirts though at the what tour was that? Was the Out There tour? I think it was 2018, and like there were so many T-shirts that were like Ram, Red Rose Speedway, Tug of War. I was like, oh, they're actually doing stuff for the fans. It's not all just Egypt's Asian stuff, although it would have been cool if they, it probably hadn't been shot by that point, but it would have been nice to have an Emma Stone in the makeup T-shirt on. Like those, those terrible Rihanna Primark shirts you had, with her with the red hair, but you have Emma Stone instead.
That would have been cool.
Someone make that, put it on Etsy.
Etsy.
It would go for something. I'm sure I can get Brantley Gutierrez to give me the copyright for that. He knows, Emma. Have there been any other white whales that have eluded you? Any other ones that came within your grasp that just kind of slipped through your fingers?
And there's been a few on eBay, which are always annoying when someone comes in at the last minute and
snipes you.
Yeah, and there was one lot, and I've got loads of the Paul McCartney World Tour sort of tickets and backstage passes and that sort of stuff, which I collect loads of them because I work in theatre, so they're quite nice because they're sort of relatable to to what I do with the backstage and the VIP passes and all that sort of stuff. And there was a job lot on eBay of all different ones, and that got the worst thing. So it was like literally the last second, someone outbid me, and then the following day they were all getting relisted on eBay separately for like 20 quid a piece.
Oh,
that's the worst.
That's rough. That's rough.
But apart from that, I've been fairly lucky, I think, so far.
So what about some of the more obscure stuff? Have you got any points of sale, stands or anything? You know, like the classic ones, the Give My Regard to Broad Street CD and cassette stand that you get in the stores and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, well I've got a few. Obviously, I've got that pop up, which I'm guessing was a world tour advertisement.
Cracking shirt, Paul there. Oh, 2 copies of Paul McCartney, the lyrics I see there as well.
Oh, yeah.
And a Spin It On 7-inch. Oh, what nice.
Got the Once Upon a Long Ago shop display.
Looking very sexy there, Paul. Oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
That's in good nick as well.
It is. I was really surprised when I got it. And this was another eBay find. And I mean, some of them, I know like Tracks and stuff, they sell these sort of things and they charge a fortune. Like something like this probably be like £80. But I think I won this for probably £12, something like that. It wasn't.
My God.
It wasn't a lot of money. But yeah, so that sits nicely on my shelf with the Once Upon a Video, and then the Once Upon a Long Ago 12-inch CD, and so.
Do you ever just do like random stuff, like type in Paul McCartney rare into eBay and just see what comes up?
Crazy. Or if you spell his name wrong, that also comes up with stuff. It's crazy.
No one else is going to be looking at that as well. That's a very good way to do it. Have you ever had to make a purge of your collection or anything, or has it all stayed with you?
No, I haven't yet, and hopefully I don't have to. But maybe one day. Who knows?
I've got to ask you the question that I ask everyone as well. Have you got a fire extinguisher on hand, just in case?
I knew you were going to ask this. I don't at the minute. Not in this room.
No. Gotta get one, even if it's just a little one.
I'm gonna get one. I will get one.
Very disappointed. I really am. And how do you feel about the current state of new Beatle and solo Beatle releases? Are you happy that there's 78 different versions of Imagine to get? Were you upset by all the colour versions of McCartney and McCartney 3 reimagined?
My bank balance was.
Yes.
No, I definitely got sucked into it, and I don't mind. I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. You know, and for me, it was my first. Obviously, with Egypt Station, that was my first release being a fan. Mm-hmm. But for McCartney 3, I was a full-blown collector at that point, and when everything started releasing, that was great for me. I loved it. But yeah.
No, I just love it on the forums and the Facebook pages and on Reddit and stuff where people just go, "Oh, now this is coming out," and all the top comments are like, "How could he keep doing this?" It's like no one's making you buy it.
No, definitely not. You know, it's crazy the amount that people complain about it, and it's just just don't buy it. That's
And like, you know, if you really think your only access to the Women and Wives demo is by legally purchasing the CD, then you know, you're not living in reality, really.
I was
gonna say we've got a record day coming soon. The Women and Wives. Is that going to be a picture disc as well?
No, I think it's just black vinyl.
Black vinyl.
But I'm quite pleased that it's not coming out on Record Store Day. I think with it coming out, it's on Paul's birthday now, isn't it? The release date.
Oh, I did not know that.
I think I know there was a record shop that I go to in Newark, and he was saying that there was a few problems getting it ready in time.
Classic.
And I was like, well, he's just saying that. And then the next day, it got taken off the Record Store Day website. And then a few days later was that announcement that it's going to be moved and it's going to be Song of the Year or whatever it is.
I was going to say, because I thought it was going to be, I thought it was like the main release for Record Store Day. So
yeah, I think that is it Record Store Day Song of the Year or something along them lines. But yeah, it's now, I'm pretty sure it's Paul's birthday, the release, which will hopefully be better because there isn't going to be as many people trying to get it, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, it would be upsetting if you were like queuing all that time and there were just people who picked it up just because they saw it in the shop and they were let in before you. I guess, you'll have to just settle for that Ringo album, Ring of the Fourth or Ring of the Fifth.
On coloured vinyl.
Yeah, and the Ravi Shankar and Friends one. I'll tell you what I am looking for though. I want to pick up Nowhere. Is it Nowhere In by St. Vincent? I'm looking forward to picking that one up.
Okay.
Just I mean, she won Grammy for his best rock album or something.
Oh really? I don't know.
So like, I've got an album from the latest Grammys. I'm like, oh my god, that's so different for me. That's such a rarity for being a Paul fan. Yeah, really enjoying that. Cool. So yeah, I think it's high time that we dust off the cobwebs, pull down the ladder, when there's bats, and then let's take a look at your first item from your attic. Let's go for it.
Right. Where do we start? Okay, I think I'll start with this one. So this is it's a demo where it's a radio promo from NME's The Last Temptation of Elvis, which is it's just like a compilation of artists covering Elvis songs, of which Paul did a cover of It's Now or Never.
Awesome.
It's a really nice cover, actually. But I've got a radio promo.
Oh my god.
And this is, I believe it was limited to 500 copies.
Wow.
So this is pretty cool. And on the other side, it's Bruce Springsteen.
The
Viva
boss.
Las Vegas, but I haven't played that side.
It remains unplayed.
But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And this was there's this record shop, and a couple of my items are actually from that shop. And every time I go in, he's always got something amazing. It's quite a small shop, but the stuff that he has is just incredible. And I just went in one day, and I'd arranged to collect something that I'd bought. And he said, "Oh, I've got something for you. I've got."
He saw you coming a mile off.
And he just lifted this up, and I knew what it was as soon as he showed me it. And yeah, so that's it's pretty cool.
You knew what it was the moment he showed it you. I had never even heard of this release.
Really,
this is going to have to go on my cold cuts and hot hits episode at some point. Yeah.
Since I bought it, I'd actually been trying to look and remember where I'd seen it. I'd obviously saw it in some sort of Facebook group or someone showed it on YouTube. But it was the first one that I'd actually seen in person. And because of how rare it is, I just had to get it. And it was a good price in the end. So I was quite pleased with that one. But that was that's
so cool.
My first item.
I love that. Starting off very strong.
It's just a 10-inch single, but no, it's
a 10-inch. Nice that's an odd size. Yeah, that's an odd size.
10-inch.
I don't think I've got. Oh no, I think my West Rider Pauper Lunatic Asylum by Kasabian's in a 10-inch double.
Okay.
Album. Yeah. Randomly got a Kasabian album in the middle of the collection for some reason. Not a clue why.
Yeah, I've got a. It's all Paul McCartney, Beatles, a few of the other Beatles, and then there's like one Jerry and the Pacemakers album in there. But yeah, so on to my next item.
Number 2.
Which one do I go? All right, I'll go with this one.
Oh no. No, this is the first one, isn't it?
Is this?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
yes, Strawberries Ocean
Oh,
Ships Forest. Yeah.
Oh, was Rushes the second?
Yes.
Ah, I got you. I always get them mixed up. I haven't.
You've got the more valuable one.
I'm waiting on Rushes. I'm desperately trying to find Rushes.
It is.
But
Is that unopened as well?
it's still got the shrink on. When I bought it, the shrink sort of went up to halfway
Right.
on the seam. It's like someone had opened it and then decided not to. So I couldn't resist myself, and I just got down the rest of the seam. But the shrinks, you know, you can't tell that the records have been taken out, so it just looks nice.
If you get a lighter and get really careful one day, just seal that shit back up. Oh,
but this was that same record shop as that 10-inch promo, and he emailed me saying, I've got the Fireman album.
Oh my god, you're a proper regular then. Yeah.
I've got one in shrink and one not in shrink.
I'll have both.
I was tempted, but I got there and I looked at the one not in shrink, and then I was like, well, no, I was actually going to go for the one not in the shrink, but I bought a few other bits, and he ended up letting me have the other bits for free, and said you need to get the one in shrink. If I was getting it, I'd get the one that's in shrink. So he was really nice with that. So, but yeah, so that's one that I never thought I'd get, or not for a while anyway. And
give the shop a shout out, man. It sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, so it's Spin It Records in Hull, and this Steve, he's brilliant. I started going there. It was about last year, and I got a few bits, and then I went about 5 months ago, and I was looking through, and he had McCartney 2 on clear vinyl, the reissues, and I didn't have it, and I bought that, and I said, do you have any of the other coloured vinyl releases? Because at that point I only had New on pink vinyl, and
nice.
I can't remember what else. And he said, I don't know, I'll have a look at my lockup, and I'll get back to you if you give me an email. And so I sent him an email, and about a week later he emailed me back. He had Ram on yellow vinyl, Mccartney red vinyl, Tug of War blue vinyl, and Band on the Run white vinyl. And I was like, yeah, please can you save them for me? And but it was great because, and he charged me the price that they were when they were released, which is insane. Because like McCartney 2, I've seen the clear vinyl, I've seen it on eBay for like 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah, easy.
It's crazy. So I'm quite lucky with Steve, and the fact that he sort of looks after me in that sense, and finds different stuff out. But I just love.
Oh, look at that! Oh my god,
it's so nice, and just the fact that it's never been played.
Really, never played it.
No.
I mean, you're not missing out on much.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's the thing. But
oh my god, there could be a hidden track on that single pressing, and we'll never know. My god, and the other one. Oh, be careful! Be careful! Oh my gosh, look at that. Youth would be proud.
I've been the past couple of months. I've been quite lucky with Fireman stuff. I'd gone through a spell of, well, I hadn't really had much luck since I started collecting, finding any of the Fireman releases. And then I got the Strawberries Ocean Ships Forest. I always have to look because I can never remember.
It's one of those stories like Ships, Strawberries, Forest, Ocean. Yeah, it's called.
And on the same weekend, I got the Electric Arguments box set.
Oh, oh my god! This is a horrible episode for me. This really is.
Sorry, but there was this record shop not far from Spin It where I was in Hull, and I knew that he had it. I looked at it a couple of months earlier, and I was tempted, but it didn't have the paper satchel that it came in.
Right.
And I was like, if it had the satchel, I'd want it straight away. But because of that, I left it. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, well,
Might not ever see another one. Yeah.
And so he let me have that for a good price as well. So that weekend, I ended up getting 2 Fireman releases.
Oh, God.
Which was great.
Ever come across a Fireman single? I've never seen one.
Yes.
Oh, God, he's not going to pull one into frame. No.
I've got to find it, but I... oh, here we go.
Fuck's sake. Which one's that?
Is it Fluid, I think? Yeah, Fluid.
Is that from Electric Arguments, is it?
It's from, I'm pretty sure it's from...
Rushes?
No, Strawberry...
Can't be.
Strawberries, Forests, Ships, Ocean, is that?
Fluid, the song by the Fireman. It's on Rushes. So you've got a Rushes single at least.
Yeah, this was the first Fireman release that I got, and this was from my local record shop, and it was £12.
Fuck's sake! This is oh my god!
This is crazy. And I think
I've got nothing around me. I've got nothing like this. This is so upsetting. Oh my god! £12.
But yes, this is a really nice 12-inch single, and it's a limited numbered edition as well. So that's
whatever. Oh my god!
Sorry.
Do you ever find yourself having to haggle? Are you a good deal maker?
I'm not
I make good deals. I do good deals. I'm gonna make vinyl great again. Yeah.
No, I do try, but I'm a bit soft, so I always just feel bad for haggling. On eBay, I do. I send my best offers, and they often get rejected, but sometimes they'll accept it.
I find best offers are you're required to send a lengthy essay detailing why it means so much to you. I get my mom these very expensive porcelain horses from time to time.
Okay.
And sometimes they're worth hundreds of pounds. And I just put like 50 quid. This is for my mom's birthday. My dad got her one, blah, 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 blah. And he went, yeah, I'll take that off eBay. I'll send it to you right away. And I was like,
oh. Yeah,
it was all lies. It was all lies. That was the
But no, there's quite a few eBay sellers that I bought stuff off, and they've if I buy one thing off them, they'll let me have a few other bits like quite cheap. And it's because I sort of it's a bit of a bad habit. I just end up like late at night. I'll be looking on Instagram, and then I'll go on Facebook, and then I'll look on eBay, and what's on eBay?
And I know this. I know this feeling. I know this feeling, dude.
It's not good. But
no, just typing in temporary secretary, and before you even got to the M, like it's automatically just filled it in for you because
that's it.
It knows what you're after. And then you get the emails from eBay like, oh well, someone's posted something similar to what you were searching. It's like, get out of my head, get out of my head. This damn algorithm.
Else is watching this item. Are you sure you don't want to buy it?
Leave me alone, please. So, item number 3.
Item number 3. Okay, I'll go with.
Oh, here we go.
Run Devil Run. This was the first sort of expensive Paul McCartney item that I bought. Well, definitely first expensive vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed out on one on eBay, and I was watching, and I missed out on it, and I was so close, and then it was the same. It got sniped last minute, and that was the time where I'd already got the 7-inch single box set. Okay. Which I love.
I'm guessing that was more expensive than the vinyl.
No, I think that was about £80.
So this is worth more than 80 quid.
This one,
Yeah.
I don't say how much I paid for this because my girlfriend will probably watch this video, but
Oh my God.
no, it wasn't much more than £80, but it was more than £80.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's quite a rare one.
And there's what, 2 McCartney originals on it, something like that.
But it was the thing at the time. I was going through, I got all the CD singles, and I got the cassette and everything like that, and I got a few promo releases from it. And I was like, I just need the vinyl. I need the vinyl, and yeah, I got that just before Christmas. It's like a Christmas present to me.
To me, yeah.
Yep.
Something I've noticed with collecting records is the more dangerous thing than a record collection that's very sparse and empty is one that's nearly full, because then you're going to start getting more desperate to fill it in. Like there's one copy of the Russian album that I saw on a website, and it was like a bootleg from Russia, and it has like a brown paper bag aesthetic to it.
Okay.
And like, I've got to have that. It might just be a picture from Russia, and it was just sold in a brown paper bag. But I need that one. And then I saw another one that was like yellow. Where's that?
It's crazy. I know you've got loads of the Russian album, and I did actually see one the other day, and I did buy it, but just because I hadn't seen. So obviously that's the normal one, what you normally see with the MPL.
Yeah, and there's that gold star on the top. Yeah.
And then I saw this one.
Oh, I've not got that. Light pink.
No more. This is the.
Fuck, I've not.
The yellow.
Yes, it's got the yellow back, but my pink ones are much bolder, like Microsoft Paint kind of pink.
Right, got you.
Yeah, that's
when I saw that, I was like, oh no, that's different to the others. So I'll. And then I got the other day. I was at a record shop, and they had the Russian album, and it had £3 on it. I was like, well, I can't not get it for £3.
Yeah, just whatever it is, whatever quality.
Got it home, and it had the club sandwich in it.
Oh, for fuck's!
Which, I couldn't believe. So that was great. I do actually have.
That's so expensive on eBay. The club sandwich one.
It's crazy. Well, I do have one at the back there on the shelf with the mailer from Club Sandwich. And I got that last year in Liverpool, and I think I paid £30.
Jesus Christ!
That was the Beatles shop on Matthew Street.
Yeah, I love that place.
It's so cool. I got that, and then quite a few 12-inch singles, Paul McCartney ones. So
I remember when I went, it was mostly Beatles stuff. There wasn't a lot of Paul stuff. The only thing I think I walked away with was a copy of Check My Machine 7-inch. I was like, it's Check My Machine. I can't not buy this. It's a shame that I was going to say, it's a shame that around that time Paul wasn't doing more 12-inch alternative singles. It's like you get Temporary Secretary on 12-inch. No 7-inch version of it. There's no 12-inch Check My Machine, which has All You Horse Riders on the B side or something.
But when I was there, all the Paul McCartney stuff had sort of fallen behind a shelf in the display cabinet and was sort of buried with other stuff. So I just asked the guy if I could have a look at these singles, and he got them out. And at that point, I didn't have any of them. It was all like Ue Soleil and My Brave Face and that sort of stuff. But yeah, so I got them, and now I think the only 12-inch I'm missing is All My Trials, which I did see at the weekend and didn't buy.
I need a 12-inch of Put It There, because that's got a really cool song on the B side. Like, Did We Meet Somewhere Before, or Did We Meet Somewhere Before, or it's one of the weird ones. Same Time Next Year, maybe. It's one of those late era Back to the Egg.
It's going to annoy me now because this is the one where it's going to be the last one at the pile, and I won't be able to find it.
Oh dear.
Thankfully, I have. I used to just, just put my records in where they'd fit, and now I've got them. It's really satisfying. I've got my Mccartney section, and then my Ram section into wildlife, and so now it's quite easy to find stuff.
So you're looking for 89.90 now?
Yeah. Well, I've got all my 12 inches just together. No, maybe I don't have put it there on 12 inch.
Ooh. I'm gonna snipe you. I'm gonna snipe you on eBay. if it weighs a ton.
I shall add that to my want list.
Man looks up something on
Defeated.
computer. eBay. Let's see what we got here, folks. Put it there. McCartney 12. And for some reason, inch is the word inch is just quotation marks.
I can't remember what the cover is on that one.
It's that weird artwork that he did on like a book of lyrics or something.
Oh, yes.
Those doodles.
Yeah. No, I don't have that because I was talking to.
That's £7.50. Buy it now. Sorry, mate. That's.
No, I was talking to Tom Hunyadi about put it there.
Yeah.
Because he said about getting the version with the artwork.
I think this might be one actually.
Is it?
Hang on. Complete with artwork. Oh my god! Buy it now.
That's £7.50.
Plus shipping, but total £11. I spent £10 on a taxi from work today, so yep. I think I can morally justify this. Ooh, okay. I don't think I've ever bought vinyl live on the show before.
There you go.
This is the first. You know what? that could be a fun Patreon vlog. Just me. I've got £50, and I'm gonna what can I get with this? Okay, we got some. There's what else we got cheap here for you. There's a £9.99 one here, plus £3.20 postage and packaging.
Okay, I shall have a look later on. To be fair, after this Egypt Station suitcase, I think I've spent my my monthly allowance on Paul McCartney.
Here we go. Put it there. 1990 poster size press advert, 16 times 12 inch. Ooh.
Where is it? I do somewhere. Oh, there it is. I do have the cassette.
Oh, okay. Oh, lovely. What's on the B side? Is the B side? Yeah.
Mama's Little Girl.
Oh, it's just Mama's Little Girl. Okay, that's just the regular one then. Interesting. Oh, I didn't actually look it up what it is. Put it. Sorry, folks. Man looks something up on the computer again. Where does that come from? Man, oh, that's. I think that's Mark. I think that's a Mark Commode joke. Man, same time next year. 12-inch and CD only. I'm actually reviewing that for the latest Cold Cuts episode that'll be out this Thursday, folks. Probably shouldn't have said that because I probably won't be able to honor that. But anyway, let's go on to item quattro.
Right.
Ooh.
This was this was
okay.
So this was that same record shop. That they all sort of quite a few of them were from
This is the greatest record shop of all time.
Honestly, it's amazing. When I first went in there, he had obviously the racks with Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, and then underneath there's he's got them all just like HMV do. Underneath the vinyl racks, and then they pull them out when they restock. He had it like that, and I was looking through, and I was pulling out like Russian press of Flowers in the Dirt, and copy of Ram, and all this sort of stuff. And he was like, "Oh, I do have some like late '90s Paul McCartney stuff." And he's looking, and I was like, "Oh, I'd be interested in And he's looking through these crates, and he pulls out an original Paul is Live. And then he's looking through again, and what did he pull out? He's looking through, and he pulls out Off the Ground. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, I'd really be interested in Driving Rain if you've got it. He goes, oh, I'm sure I've got it somewhere. And he picks up this another box. And he looks through, not in that one. Picks up another, and then he just pulls out his Driving Rain
on fucking vinyl. Oh my god!
He actually got 2 of them. So if you want one, Sam, go to Hull.
Next time you go to this shop, I want to see a little magenta notification on Instagram letting me know that you are going to be there. Oh my god!
Yep.
I'll just put money aside. I'll just put it a little nest egg.
But yeah, so he pulled this out, and he had 2 of them, which he bought off this guy like 10 years ago, and they've never been played either. So it was opened, but it is absolutely mint. I couldn't believe it when he showed me it. Where is it?
It's mint literally and figuratively. Oh, it's so beautiful.
But it is, it's really nice. He said this, I think it was this old guy that bought a couple of copies when it first came out, and just kept them. Never played them. And then this guy sold his collection, and Steve bought it in Hull. And now I've got one.
Have you got an Off the Ground as well?
I do, somewhere there.
Oh no! Oh no!
You're gonna absolutely, you're gonna hate me for this one, because this was an eBay purchase, and this is really nice.
You got it for 12 pence.
£40.
40 quid.
£40. This was
5 hours of minimum wage work for that. Oh my god!
I bought this. It was the day that 3 Imagined got announced.
Wow.
So whenever that was. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. It's so now.
Do all of them have that border?
Yeah, I think they do.
That's interesting.
But I quite like it. I know there's quite a few people that wish it didn't have the border. I just wish it was the. But no, I quite like it.
It does. But it's quite reminiscent of the McCartney CD reissues.
Yeah. But this is a nice copy as well.
I need to hear Biker Like an Icon on vinyl. The single's so expensive as well.
I love Biker Like an Icon. It's brilliant.
All true McCartney fans.
There's a lot of people that hate it, but
yeah.
I
want to hear Riding to Jaipur on fucking vinyl as well.
I'm just ready for an Off the Ground archive.
Oh my god, it's going to be so full as well, because it's going to have like the up close concert. You can chuck all of that stuff on there.
Yep.
They'll probably include MTV Unplugged.
Yep.
Even though they didn't include Denny's Holidays on the Speed of Sound one, which they totally should have. You've got tour stuff that you can chuck on there. I mean, they might even do Paul is Live and just throw that in there, because maybe Paul is Live doesn't
certainly get... there's a lot of stuff they could use. It's
all the B-sides, So. I mean, I was talking with Dylan Seavey on the Paul is Live episode that's just come out. Maybe Tripping and Paul is Live together, like the World Tours box set or something like that.
I'm hoping Paul does some more of his coloured vinyl releases, and we get Tripping on coloured vinyl, because that'd be really cool.
Oh, everything just needs to be on splatter vinyl now. Those splatters of 3 Imagine were just insane. They were so gorgeous.
But you have to be. I think I can't remember. I think I was quite unlucky with my splatter, because one side was really nice, and the other there was like one little bit.
It was quite boring, was it?
But yeah, no, I love the splatter vinyl. That was really nice.
It still keeps me up at night to think that so many copies of McCartney 1 and 2 were crushed to make the 333.
I know.
pressings. It's like,
crazy.
how about you just use some new vinyl and maybe just give those copies to fans for them to listen to and have in their collections.
Was it the video they released, Third Man of them doing it?
Yeah.
And it was I was under the impression that it was like original copies that they crushed, but it was like the archive edition of the vinyl that there was like stacks of them. Like there was like
where
20.
are these kept? Like what's going on?
Oh. It was like 20 Mccartney stacked all in the shrink, which obviously they just
never sold.
Yeah, so it was it's crazy. But
just give one of each to your local friendly Paul McCartney podcaster. That's what you need to do. And then you can crush them all. I don't mind.
Oh. But with the 333 release, one sold on eBay yesterday, and it was like £1,200 still.
No, but that's still 200. That's about 80% down from what it was. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
3,333. Some of them were going for. Which I think is more of a meme than an actual pricing, but some of them were pretty mad. I see you've got 2 copies of Paul McCartney, the lyrics behind you. There's obviously the orange one.
I got the normal one on release day, the UK version,
and then you got a Yankee one.
And then a few months. Well, I think it was about when would it have been? January probably. So a couple of months after. The American version came up on eBay for a good price, and it was in this country, so I didn't have to worry about shipping and stuff like that. And I couldn't help myself. And that one's still in the shrink wrap. So
I remember when Tom Hunyadi was doing a competition to win a copy, and he went, "Oh, by the way, this is only for American viewers." And I was like, "Oh, fuck 2 legs, fuck this show. I'm gonna go listen to some Take It Away more."
Yeah. Oh
my god. But that the signed copies of the lyrics, they're still ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I'm kicking my I am kicking.
Don't do it. I refuse to let you buy one. You've got to put a down payment on a house.
I could have. I do. My girlfriend will be. She'll be like, "Go, Sam."
Yeah.
No, I saw it when they first got announced. And I had one in my basket from Waterstones for what was it? I think it was like £1,200, and I was like, I can't do it. This is gonna completely wipe my savings. I can't buy one.
She's gonna leave me.
I was like, is it worth it? No, it's not. And so I didn't buy it. And then obviously the week after they were going for like 10 grand.
No, but did they sell for 10 grand though?
I don't know. There was a lot. There was a lot at the time, and then they just sort of disappeared. So they either sold or I don't know. I know I saw a couple on bidding, and they were getting up there.
No, again, a lot of that might be best offers, and then they just get taken offline.
Yeah.
I was at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Another Yu-Gi-Oh anecdote. You get little packs for entering. I pulled a card worth like 97 quid. Someone went, okay, I'll give you £60 cash right now. And, or do I want to go home, type it into eBay, put it in the envelope, take it to the post? No, I'll take the 60 quid right now. Wicked. Yeah. A lot of them probably went for maybe 5 grand perhaps, but that's still 500% profit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's quite funny you say that, because I remember when I was probably about 10, I used to collect the WWE wrestling cards.
Nice.
And there was this kid down my street, and he was a few years younger than me, but he collected the cards as well, and we used to do swaps. And I had loads of swaps, just like in a folder. And he didn't have that many, but he got a signed card. And I was like, I'll give you all my swaps for that card. And he gave me the card, and he had all my swaps. And his mum went absolutely mental at him.
Really?
But I had this card, and then a few years later, I sold it on eBay for £150. But this is like 10 years ago, so I
Well, a friend of mine was at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and he did something similar. Well, I think he saw something similar where a very young kid, very inexperienced kid, probably didn't know the value of it, pulled a very expensive card, probably worth hundreds, and people were like, "Oh, I'll give you a tenner for it right now." And he said it was like that scene in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where Charlie pulls the golden ticket, and the shopkeeper goes, "Run home, Charlie! Run home right away!" And like this kid just scarpered with his very expensive card, with his grown, sweaty 35-plus-year-old men chasing after him physically. Oh, but like, could you imagine running through Beetlefest with a mint copy of the butcher cover in your hands, holding it loosely for someone just to grab?
Crazy, isn't it?
Be a fire hazard. You'd cause a panic. Right, come on.
Right,
let's wrap this up. Number 5.
My last album, and then I've got a little bonus, but I'll be quick.
Oh, okay.
So, I've got loads of the 89-90 World Tour stuff, but I decided to show my limited collection of New World Tour stuff because I think it's a little bit more interesting. So I've got my little Earl's Court Andy, which is that's pretty cool. So Paul can just stay there for this bit.
I love that. I love the framing. Oh my god! What the hell is this? What is this?
So this is a limited edition Paul McCartney New World Tour Collection box set. Which this was another eBay bargain. Like an absolute, it was that much of a steal that when it arrived wrapped up, I opened it and a note fell out from the guy who sold it saying, "Enjoy your bargain."
Wow.
So inside,
I'm fucking speechless. I'm never normally this speechless. Oh, the shirt. Oh.
So you got a New World Tour shirt still in the wrapper.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or very cool. Try and get this out without ripping it.
Do not rip it. Take your time.
So this is just the standard tour program, but in the paper bag.
Jesus Christ.
Which is
unopened.
Very nice. Yeah. I don't want to open that, and then it's got Off the Ground, Unplugged, and Wings Greatest. I mean, what a cool box set!
At the time, that MTV Unplugged one was fucking rare as well.
Yeah, it's such a cool box set, and it also came with the New World Tour pin badge.
Oh my god!
Which that alone sells for quite a bit on eBay. It's so to get it in the box set was really nice.
What a nice little triumvirate of albums to put together. You got the new album.
It's a nice set.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen or known of it until I saw it on eBay, and ended up winning it for the opening bid, which was which I didn't expect.
Because there's the Flowers in the Dirt one, but that was like a Japanese exclusive. Like you get Party on it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I've got the I think I've got the vinyl, because there was the vinyl and the CD version of the Flowers in the Dirt one, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. But there hasn't been stuff like that since. I mean, maybe, I know Linda was a big part in making sure there was lots of merch, and there wasn't a Flaming Pie tour. Linda wasn't around at that point, so a lot of the kind of ephemera merch just kind of vanished until things like the suitcase. I don't know of a Chaos and Creation pin.
No. No, which is a shame. Anything like that, just want as much merch as possible. But so that's that.
Oh my god!
It's just the cover. It's just so nice. It's my number is 7,848.
Oh, so there's quite a few of them then. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many there are. I've tried to look, but I can't find it out anywhere. And then finally, for my New World Tour, I you'll be able to see. I've got a signed program. Can you see the signature?
I can see one just about there. Yeah, look at that.
About there. And it's got the. I didn't get the signature. The tour was 6 years before I was born. But
I was
so it's
one
got
at the time. Yeah.
The guest pass from Earl's Court. That's one of the main things what persuaded me to buy it, because obviously the person who had the
signature wasn't the deciding factor.
No. The signature was, but what persuaded me that the signature was definitely real.
Oh, okay.
The fact that obviously this person had been backstage at Earl's Court. They've got a guest pass. The person who I bought it from, their father was in the music industry. Was like some big producer. Can't remember his name. She did tell me. But he died, and she was selling off all his collection of stuff. And I thankfully managed to get this program. You might see it better if I turn. It is there, I promise.
Is it on your Instagram page? That'll be a good plug to get.
It is, yeah. So yeah, there is a better picture on my Instagram, but it's signed in biro, so it's a bit deceiving, but it is there. Yeah, so that's that. So to get that, I was, and then finally finally. Say bye to Paul. And then definitely finally my little bonus item is my jacket, what I'm wearing. So this is my Paul McCartney jacket. It says McCartney on the back.
Oh, and, I need that.
When I was in London in November, I went for the talk at the South Bank Centre.
Oh, you were there for the lyrics discussion.
Yeah. So that was my first time actually seeing Paul. So I was so excited for that. Got tickets for me and my girlfriend. She was working at Pinewood Studios at the time, so I was going down to London quite often to see her, and we just sort of were able to make, a long weekend of that, which was great. But while we were down there, we were doing, we went to Abbey Road and, showing her all the sights, and I'd already been on a walking tour, the Beatles walking tour, a week before, so I knew roughly where the stuff was. And obviously we had to have a little stroll down Cavendish Avenue, and we're walking down. I was like, look, that's Paul's house, that's it there. And she's like, yeah, all right. I feel like a stalker. Let's go. I don't want to stalk Paul. I was like, well, he's definitely going to be there because he's at the South Bank Centre tonight. He's there. And she's like, come on. So we end up walked to the end of his street, and I think she tied a shoelace or something. As she's doing that, I'm just looking around. I look over my shoulder, and his gate's open.
Oh God!
And then out walks this bloke wearing a cap, or he walks out and puts a cap on, and just walks down the street the opposite way. I said, Amy, that's Paul. That's Paul McCartney. She's like, no, why would he just be walking, out in the street? I said, of course he does. That's what he does. There's pictures of him doing that. And she's like, well, if you think it's him, go after him. I was like, what, really?
Bye.
So he was like FaceTiming, or he was on his phone or something. So he was walking quite slow. So I started walking, and then I picked up the pace a little bit. I never ran. I just did a bit of a quick walk.
I want to make it clear to the court.
I didn't run after him. I did a bit of a quick walk and stayed behind to make sure that it was him. And I was a distance away, but I could tell it was him.
Oh my God!
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is Paul McCartney." And at the end of the street, he walks into this park, and there's just like a little. It was a little park, and I'm walking behind him. And he then stands and reads one of the signs. There's like a sign about a tree, and he's just stood there reading it. And I sort of walk. By this point, I'm still just seeing the back of him. I haven't seen him. So I walk round and I get at the side of him, and it's definitely him. And I'm like, Paul. He just goes, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm a massive fan. I'm coming to see you at the South Bank Centre tonight. And he's like, "Oh, right, oh, cool," and I didn't know what to say, and he's just having a conversation with me. He's like, "Oh, so where are you from?" And then he says, "Oh, I was wearing this jacket." He's like, "Oh, I can see you're a massive fan," and he touched my jacket.
Oh my God.
Ran his fingers over his autograph, and we were just talking, and I didn't know what to say. I mean, there's so many things I could have said, and I just didn't.
Where's the Cold Cuts album, Paul, please? Yeah.
But we're just talking, and then my girlfriend, who thought that I was following this random bloke, walks through this gate and sees me stood there talking to Paul McCartney. And I go, "Oh, this is my partner, Amy." And he puts his hand out, shakes her hand, and says, "Hello, partner." He was so funny. He was, it was. And I was like, "Oh, where's my handshake?" and then he turned and shook my hand, and then he just says, "Oh yeah, we're allowed to do that now." He's going on about how after COVID we're now allowed to shake hands.
Yeah. Oh,
and
fucking hell.
It was crazy, and the whole time I'm talking to him, I don't know what to say, but in the back of my mind, I think this was literally 2 days after that article got released about him not signing autographs.
Yeah. Oh my
God. And he just wanted to have conversations with people and stuff. I'm like, "Oh no," but I haven't got it signed, but in my backpack, I did have Mccartney 3. And I said before we left, "Oh, I'll take just a CD, just in case we see him, and in case he'll sign something. I'll just take it in case." And obviously, in my mind, it was this, "Oh, he's not going to sign it." It was just after this interview, this article that got released. And I said, "Paul, would you mind having a picture with me?" I thought the picture would be the safer option than getting him to sign something after that. And he said no. But he was very nice about it. He was like, "No, he's like, I don't do pictures, but this is a nice moment between me and you." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? That's nice, Paul." I was just like, "Yeah, no, thank you, no worries, thank you." I just kept saying thank you. But yeah, he was just like, this is a nice moment between me and you." And then he was like, "It's good to meet you, Bailey. I'll see you tonight." And that was it. And then it's crazy. That was it. And then all day I was like, "I just met Paul McCartney. I met Paul McCartney." It's
fucking hell, folks. We were not prepped. There was no pre-discussion of what we were going to talk about. This is all. I'm just a speechless.
But yeah, so it was a bit of a anticlimax because I was so looking forward to seeing him at the South Bank Centre, and then after meeting him and shaking his hands,
it didn't really live up to
being right there. So we don't really need to go tonight now. Obviously we did, and it was great, but it was just like, I've met him. It was that was the one thing that, it's that one of them bucket list things where you never think it's going to happen, but I'd love to meet Paul, and I did. I just I don't really have anything to show for it, apart from obviously my memories.
Well, that's one hell of an item number 6.
So that was my little bonus item.
You've got to go see him live now.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. I'm trying not to buy as many records, so I'll be able to. Yeah.
No, there's no announcement at the time of recording for Got Back to come to the UK, but it has to. It
has to at some point.
And you know what? If you see him and I see him on that tour, we'll do an episode on the podcast about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love that. Absolutely.
Excellent. Bailey, thank you so much for coming on and absolutely blowing my mind today.
No worries. Thank you for having me on. This is my my first ever sort of thing on YouTube or video or anything like that. So it's crazy.
No, I'm thinking of doing a best of Macca in your attic, and that story is definitely gonna make the cut, I believe.
Oh, thank you.
It's only been outdone by Dan Ely, the Junior's Farm guy.
That episode was amazing.
I was just
that
like,
was.
oh my god. Well, yeah, folks, be sure to check out the link below. I'll be posting a link to Bailey's Instagram page at Beat Bailey for all of your Beatles and Paul McCartney memorabilia needs. I've been Sam. He's been Bailey. This has been another episode of Macca in Your Attic. We've looked at 5 absolutely incredible items today. I'm now going to go and sit and wallow in depression and probably try and make myself feel better by going on eBay myself and, you know, buying another copy of Chobber that I don't need. I do need the coloured
It's
vinyl
totally worth it.
version of that. Coloured vinyl, a bootleg, and the club sandwich one, and then I can move on. I can move on with my life. Although I have recently started trying to collect all the Tom Waits vinyl now as well, which is another rabbit hole to go down as well.
That's the thing with me. When I go to a record shop, I can just look through the Paul McCartney and Beatles section. It's I'm quite well. My girlfriend's quite lucky in that sense that I just have to look through one crate and that's it.
No, it's great for your family and friends to have a thing like that, because when it comes like time for Christmas and stuff, they just know what to get you.
Yeah.
For Christmas, my mom got me the big Lego Yoda, the one that you build, and she was like, I wanted to get you the Beatles Lego portraits, but they're just too expensive. And I'm like, Mom, just next time say, Sam, I need money towards your Christmas present. I can't tell you what it is. I'll just give it you. Because if it's going to be that, oh my God, totally would have been worth it. But yeah, folks, it's been another episode of Macca in Your Attic. Go and check out all the socials, links down below. Check out all of our backlog of episodes. And if you're only a fan of this show, go and check out Paul and Nothing, the podcast which birthed this show. I've been Sam, he's been Bailey. Peace and love, peace and love. No more autographs, no photos. This has just been a lovely moment between me and you. Peace and love. Goodbye.